Today we're shifting gears a little bit to look at a great British restaurant chain, in this case, Berni Inn. If you grew up in the 70s or 80s, you likely either went to a Berni Inn or were left with a babysitter as your parents went to one for a special night out. The first Berni Inn was set up by brothers Aldo and Frank Berni back in 1956 in Bristol, and was based on American restaurants they had seen. This was a huge post-war development as it gave rise to one of the most significant restaurant/hotel chains of its time. Over the course of the 1960s it expanded out to cover most of the country and had a few restaurants based in Japan. During this period of time, it maintained a loyal customer base primarily due to it being seen as good value for money. It would seem out of date compared to restaurants of today, as it had an incredibly limited menu set around a few key dishes, rather than offering the vast menus we may expect to modern restaurants. These key dishes were prawn cocktail as a starter, steak or steak and chips as a main, and then black forest gateau for dessert. They did serve other things, but this was what they were known for. The key to Berni Inn's success is that it was standardised in a way that was not common for British eateries at that time. No matter which of the locations you went to, you would get the same food, the same portion size, etc. In many senses, it was very much proto-fast food in terms of the standardization experience. Likewise, they had a consistent appearance. They were often bedecked with dark wood interiors, Tudor-style decor, and candlelight. This gave the impression of sophistication, of going to a Berni Inn being something special. The appeal of the Berni Inn experience was the idea that it was a cut above. Foods like prawn cocktail and black forest gateau were seen as posh for the time. This combined with the environment itself made this feel like something of an exclusive occasion, something worth using to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries. In many ways, the Berni Inn experience set the expectations among groups of people not so familiar with dining out as what dining out should look like in terms of starters, mains and desserts. Unlike other restaurants, they did not have an in-house butchery and rather simply brought in steaks from suppliers. They appointed their first female manager in the 1960s as well, which was seen as terribly progressive for its time. During the 1960s and 70s, it expanded out rapidly, often taking over hotels and pubs and converting them into new locations. The decline came as tastes in Britain changed. Italian, Chinese and Indian restaurants began opening up en masse. What was once seen as a height of sophistication with Berni Inn's prawn cocktails on steak menu began to fall out of favour and look dated. Over time, this became linked to being viewed as old-fashioned. Later, it was sold to Grand Metropolitan, and then in 1995, it was sold to Whitbread, who converted the restaurants into beefeaters. It retained its focus on steaks under beefeater, but greatly expanded out its menu to appeal to a younger audience with a more varied palate. As such, what was once seen as the high point of British glamour was thrown away, seen as old hat to a new generation that wanted to taste the world and that wasn't impressed by black forest gateau. There are some who look back on Berni Inn fondly and with nostalgia, but it just couldn't compete in a world of delivery and globalism, where you can get a pizza for $25.99 and never need to leave your house. The idea of dining out for important events and anniversaries has faded, replaced by a generation of people who live in their bedrooms and order takeaway. In a sense, a part of Britain's social soul and standards was lost when places like Berni Inn died. What is the world coming to? If you like this video, or if you went to a Berni Inn, please share it with other people who understand and know the Berni Inn experience. And please also like, comment, and subscribe. All of these things help the channel grow. Let's discuss our memories of Berni Inn down in the comments. And as always, thank you for listening.